Hi, I'm Matt McLarty, VP of the API Academy. The API Academy helps companies define their API strategy, architecture, and design to help them achieve their business goals. And this has led us to a very comprehensive model we call API 360. API 360 is a proven practical approach that combines the habits of leading digital disruptors such as Google, Netflix, and Amazon, and applies how they've used APIs as a force multiplier on their business. API 360 consists of 4 perspectives. Let's start with alignment and usefulness. This simply means that the APIs you deliver should align with your overall business goals and should be useful to some target audience. Sounds basic, right? You'd be surprised how many folks say, well, we have this data we're going to expose with APIs. Data is useful, but it's not your starting point. Instead, examine your existing business models. Set strategic objectives. Then ask yourself some important questions. For example, are there funded projects in place that can deliver APIs within existing budgets? How can you ensure your APIs introduce both immediate and lasting value? And what are the industry gaps that can be plugged using APIs? Your answers will form the basis of your API strategy, while also identifying new business models and revenue streams. We call the next perspective engagement and usability. And here, we need to consider developers as your target audience and understand what it will be like for developers to use your APIs. For example, what tools will you provide to help them? And how can APIs make their lives easier and more productive? Think about the developer experience and build their needs into the development process. That way, you'll deliver much better products faster for less. Our third perspective is scalability and evolvability, or making sure your APIs are going to be able to grow and shrink with the needs of your business. This begins with establishing good architectural approaches. For example, what are the factors that will affect your design time experience, and also runtime issues like volume and availability? You'll also need to think about how to spread the use of APIs across your organization, how you might factor in approaches like DevOps and microservices, and how to best leverage your existing assets. That way, if you're wildly successful at first, you'll be able to grow and make changes without stopping your momentum. If you're not so successful, you'll be able to quickly pivot and try new approaches. Now we've got our strategy, design, and architecture pretty well defined, so let's move to the important issues of manageability and security. You'll want to see and control your APIs, to know how they're being used from both a business and an operational perspective. Because as soon as you open up your APIs, you're also going to expose new vulnerabilities. So you'll need to be sure your APIs only give the right data to the right people. Key factors here include controlling API access without making things difficult for developers and users, protecting the data and privacy of all the different identities, and meeting and anticipating growing security threats. As you can see, API 360 is a multi-dimensional approach to creating a long and sustainable program of success with multiple APIs. I hope this overview has been helpful. We look forward to working with you soon.